Deep underground in an undisclosed location, this is Tread Comics presents G.I. Joe, the movie. G.I. Joe, the movie, also known as Action Force, the movie in the UK, is a 1987 animated action-adventure film produced as a spin-off of the animated series G.I. Joe, a real American hero, based on the original Hasbro toy line. It was produced by Sunbow Productions and Marvel Productions and was animated in Japan by Toei Animation Co. Limited. Created at the height of the G.I. Joe craze in the 1980s, G.I. Joe the movie was intended as a theatrical release to be closely followed by the Transformers the movie. However, the G.I. Joe film encountered unexpected production delays, which allowed the Transformers feature to be released first. Due to the poor box office performances of the Transformers the movie and My Little Pony the movie, G.I. Joe the movie was instead released direct-to-video as well as aired on television in syndication, first in feature-length format, and later split into a 5-part miniseries format as part of the series syndication package. While Cobra Commander and Serpentor blame each other's stewardship of Cobra as the root of cause of the organization's failure, Pythona, a woman from a secret civilization, Cobra La, infiltrates the terror drone. While there, she reveals to Serpentor that Cobra La was responsible for inspiring Dr. Mindbender to create Serpentor through dream manipulation. At her urging, Serpentor plans to capture G.I. Joe's latest weapon, the broadcast energy transmitter, known as the BET. Cobra assaults the Joes as they test the BET in the Himalayas. The Joes use the BET to activate their automated weapon systems. Serpentor is captured and Cobra Commander orders a retreat. Cobra Commander leads his troops into Cobra La. As the Joes celebrate their victory, a new group of rookie Joes are brought onto the team, including the allegedly clumsy Jinx, military police officer Law and his dog Order, former basketball player Big Lob, EOD specialist Tunnel Rat, undercover officer Chuckles, and Duke's reckless half-brother, Lieutenant Falcon, a Green Beret. In Cobra La, the Joe forces are ambushed and detained within the lava-trained living environment. The Cobra soldiers are met by their civilization's leader, Globulus, who has Pythona and his other henchmen, Nemesis Enforcer, arrest Cobra Commander. While there, Cobra learns of their history. 40,000 years ago, Cobra La was an ancient civilization that ruled Earth. However, the Ice Age, the evolution of humans, and their development of scientific technologies resulted in Cobra La survivors being forced into caverns within the Himalayas. Cobra La rebuilt their society in secret as centuries passed. Globulus vowed to destroy humanity so that his people could reclaim the earth. He eventually discovered a nobleman who was working on biological weapons. The nobleman later became Cobra Commander, charged with conquering the world for Cobra La. However, Cobra Commander's repeated failures caused Globulus to use a psychic motivator on Dr. Mindbender to create Serpentor. Meanwhile, Zorana tricks Lieutenant Falcon into infiltrating Serpentor's holding cell. For abandoning his training, Lieutenant Falcon is put on guard Falcon abandons his post to flirt with Jinx, the Dreadnoks and Nemesis Enforcer free Serpentor, injuring Alpine, Bazooka, and Gung Ho in the process. General Hawk scolds Falcon for abandoning his post and confines him to his quarters until court-martial. In Cobra Law, Cobra Commander is also tried, and Globulus reveals his plans to launch spore pods filled with mutative spores into space and use the BET to hatch them, thus dooming humanity. He punishes Cobra Commander for his repeated failures following his trial by exposing him to the spores, which transforms Cobra Commander into a snake. He flees and makes his way to the Joe's camp with Roadblock. Convinced by Duke to spare Falcon from harsh punishment, General Hawk reassigns Falcon to the slaughterhouse, where he is to be retrained by Sergeant Slaughter and his renegades, consisting of ex-Viper Mercer, former football player Red Dog, and former acrobat Taurus. On a weaponless recon mission into the Terrordrome, the five learn of Cobra's plans and that the Baroness has discovered the location of the BET. As Falcon and the others destroy the Terrordrome, Cobra launches an assault on the Joes. The Joes launch a counterattack on Cobra, but the BET is stolen. Serpentor attempts to kill Falcon, but Duke intervenes and falls into a coma. Falcon, the Renegades, and the new recruits head to the Himalayas to stop Cobra Law. The G.I. Joe team is led to Cobra Law's lair by snake-formed Cobra Commander. The new recruits prove themselves valuable soldiers as the Joes rescue their captive teammates. Falcon, Jinx, and Sergeant Slaughter confront Globulus, Pythona, and Serpentor. The ensuing fight climaxes in Jinx and Slaughter, sending Pythona and Nemesis Enforcer falling to their apparent demise. Finally, Falcon sends Serpentor out on Cobra Law and reconfigures the BET to incinerate the spore pods in space. The BET overloads, destroying Cobra Law as Globulus escapes. Immediately following the battle, the strike team receives news that Duke has come out of his coma and is recovering. The writers for G.I. Joe the movie did not originally intend for Cobra Law to be the name of the rival civilization. This was merely a placeholder name in the drafts until a more alien label came to mind. But the Hasbro executives fell in love with the name Cobra Law and forced the writers to keep it. In the film's original script, Duke dies in battle after receiving a wound from a snake spear hurled by Serpentor. After this was written into the script, it inspired the death of Autobot leader Optimus Prime in The Transformers the movie while both films were in production. Due to production delays on G.I. Joe the movies, The Transformers the movie was released into theaters first, causing huge repercussions on the ending of G.I. Joe the movie. Optimus Prime's death sparked a severe backlash amongst both fans and parents, and Hasbro reversed their decision on allowing Duke's death. While the scene was kept, replacement dialogue was inserted stating that Duke had gone into a coma. During the film's ending, it is stated that Duke has come out of his coma. Writer and story editor Buzz Dixon said in an interview with JoeHeadquarters.com, quote unquote, "If you watch the visuals and don't listen to the soundtrack, it is obvious Duke dies." In the original script, the Joes also held his funeral prior to the final battle.